Good afternoon again, Wildlife and Forestry class. I am going to tell you a little bit today about board feet or finding board feet and cords in trees. So you've been learning over the past couple days how to measure a tree using a Merit hypsometer and a Biltmore stick. Okay, your Biltmore stick and Merit hypsometer probably don't quite look like this one. I guess I can turn on the lights quick so you can see. This is one that you might purchase from a forestry company, okay? And it has multiple sides, but one side here is called the Merit hypsometer, and you're reading that right on the side. You can see it says Merit hypsometer, and it's got numbers every so often, which represent your 16-foot logs. And then you will also find on the other side, it's labeled Biltmore stick, and then it measures off in, sorry, I gotta hold it up a little higher, measures off in diameter of the tree. And that's how you would measure a tree, using a stick from a forestry company. However, you've made some that are very similar and work just the same, just out of paper. Okay, so what we're going to do is now take what you learned from this Biltmore stick, from identifying the DBH or diameter at breast height, and the Merit hypsometer side, the height of the tree, the 16-foot logs, and we're going to basically identify how you find board feet. Okay, so you should find in Google Classroom that you have a table that I've given you on a worksheet that allows you to take the number of 16-foot logs and the DBH that you found on the trees and identify board feet that way. So that's how foresters know out in the woods how many board feet are in a tree. Okay, but board feet are measured also by using an equation. Okay, so I'm going to show you what that looks like today. So a board foot is equal to, and I'm going to say one board foot, is equal to 144 cubic inches. All right, so really the definition of a board foot is 1 foot long by 1 foot high by 1 inch thick. So length times width times height, okay, is really what we're looking at. Notice how it's 1 inch here. So our final answer is all in inches. Okay, these have to be converted into inches. So technically it's 12 inches are in a foot for both of those. So it would be 12 times 12 times 1, which gives you 104 cubic inches, because there's 3 inches, so it makes it cubic. Okay, that's a cord. So if we had, let's say, a tree that was 12 feet by 6 feet by 10 inches, okay, how many board feet would be in that tree? Well, the equation for this is length times width times height, all in inches. And then we would divide it by our total number of inches in board feet to tell us how many board feet we'd actually have in that tree. So while doing that, we have to take 12 and we have to convert that into feet, or inches, excuse me. So if there are 12 inches in a foot and we have 12 feet, we're going to take 12 times 12. And that's going to give us 144 inches. And we know we have 6 feet, but in 6 feet we have 12 inches for every foot. So 6 times 12, we're going to have 72 inches. Multiply that by the 10 inches that we don't have to convert, and divide everything by 144 inches. So 144 times 72 times 10 divided by 144 is going to give us 720 board feet. Sorry, that didn't turn out very well. 720 board feet. Okay? So that is how we determine board feet in trees. I'm now going to just explain to you quickly how to do cords. Cords are another measurement. So one cord is equivalent to a 4 foot by 4 foot by 8 foot piece of wood. Okay, so if you take 4 times 4 times 8, you are going to end up with 128. And this time it's cubic feet. Okay, 3 cubic feet. Okay, so No necessary conversion here. We don't have to worry about that. It's length again times width times height. And that's what gives us the 128 feet for a chord. So if we are going to use the equation to give us a chord, we have to take that length times width times height and divide it by 128. So it's basically the same thing as we just did up above, except for we just have different dimensions. We have 128 feet in a chord instead of 144 inches in a board foot. So we'll use our same example that we did up above. So now let's say we have 12 feet and 6 feet and 10 inches. Okay, we're gonna have to do a little converting on our 10 inches because we need it in feet. The rest is going to all work. So 12 times 6, and then if we take 10 inches and convert that into a foot, it's about 0.83 of a foot, and that's a repeating 3. Okay, all that's going to go over 128. So we have 12 times 6 times 0.83 divided by 128, and that gives us 0.47. In other words, we don't even have one full chord there. All right, so it's not as big as we maybe thought it was going to be, all because our thickness was only 10 inches. Okay, so only a half a chord, or almost a half a chord, exists with that same piece of wood. And that is how you calculate board feet and chords in forestry. Good luck on your worksheet, and if you need any help, please let me know.